Happy New Year! I hope everyone had such a good and restful break. I hope everyone spent a lot of time with family and loved ones, or just alone, being cozy and recuperating after 2024. That was a long, long year. I don't know about you guys. If you're new here, I'm a school psychologist and I'm also neurodivergent. And I like to spread love to all my ADHD and anxious girlies and sirs out there and just let you know that you're not alone and that you have a place in education and the mental health field. Can you even believe it is 2025? The time is just flying by. I can't believe that I'm in year 2025 when I started my career as an intern in 2020. What a time it has been. Make sure to stick around in the video because I'm going to be talking about my NCSP renewal that's coming up. If you're a school psychologist, you know there's a dreaded every 3 years you have to renew. I'm going to tell you about some things that I'm doing to start off this new year a little bit more organized, to stay focused, to stay happy as a school psychologist in the year 2020. First off, I started this week trying to just kind of have a better sleep schedule. That's one of my big goals this year is sleep. I've had sleep issues my entire life, really wanting to focus on having a nice nighttime routine so I can wake up in the morning a little bit more refreshed. So a bad habit that I've had is watching videos or some kind of noise from my phone to help me fall asleep. Last 5 days, I haven't used my phone at all to help me sleep. I really intentionally turned my phone off and put it down and not kind of listen to friends or whatever else I usually listen to in order to help me sleep. And I've noticed that there's a bit of anxiety that comes up when I'm trying to sleep every night. That's a big part of my insomnia, but it's actually gotten easier and I'm really liking kind of detaching from my phone. I've also deleted Instagram for the last few days to just kind of have a more peaceful start to the new year. I noticed that sometimes scrolling on Instagram can be a little bit stressful, and there's also a lot of negative news on social media all the time. So I've kept my YouTube because I can't let go of my YouTube, but I'm definitely working on my sleep schedule and social media usage at the beginning of the new year. My goal for this week back, luckily we've had some teacher work day. Our students come back to school tomorrow, so a lot of us are doing a lot of the tasks you don't love doing, scheduling, paperwork, which is a huge part of my job all the time, but I'm front loading a lot of those things that generally I have been avoiding, getting those things out of the way so that I can really focus on testing students when the kiddos come back. This week so far, I've done a lot of documentation for my training credits, which I'll talk about in a little bit. Been doing a lot of scheduling for testing, writing reports, rescheduling initial evaluation meetings, and things like that. We've also had a lot of staff meetings this week. A big goal of mine this year, and honestly every year, is to figure out organization. So I think every year as a school psychologist or a teacher, educator, or whatever job you do, you learn your organization skills as you go. You figure out what works best for you. I've done so many different organization skills. I like things in hard copies. I like files. I also like Google Drive. I love Google Drive to organize my evaluations and to have different files for every student. But even more so, I need to learn how to stay organized, not just for my evaluations and my actual work, but for my own state and national licensing and credentials. So as a person with ADHD, it's really easy for me to just forget that you have to document all of your PDs. For example, for a state license, I apply for it, got that out of the way, and then I completely forget that there's things that need to be upheld and you have to apply for them regularly. It's not just like a one and done kind of thing. Those things are really hard for me. Just for work, this is for my whole life. It is, I'm telling you, it is so hard. All my ADHD girlies in the chat box, do you guys agree? Do you guys have a hard time with things like registration, car registration? Those kind of things that need regular upkeep and it's not just a one-time application is very hard for me to remember. So the thing that is helping me is if you go on to NASP to renew your NCSP, there's instructions of everything that counts for credit. So keep track of them. One easy way to do this for your NCSP, but I feel like this can be used for all of your state licensing that you need as well. This is made for you on the NASP website. This is an activity documentation form. This is specifically for NCSP renewal. So NCSP, again, is a nationally certified school psychologist. This is your certification that says across the whole country you are certified, you are a NASP member, you're well respected by NASP. And you have the skills, you did the training from an accredited program. So the initial NCSP application is really extensive as well. This is, you work on this in grad school. You had to submit all of your practicum hours, all of that. It's extensive. So I pushed that away because it's a lot of work. I had it for 3 years and now I'm renewing it. So what I recommend is printing out a bunch of these activity tracking forms, just a bunch of them, getting some kind of file folder. I love these. I got these on Amazon. They like clip shut and you can actually use these for your testing as well. And then throughout the year, when you are doing things, like right now I just sat down and I tracked all of my special education team meetings that were professional developments. So I went back on my calendar, my Outlook calendar, and I wrote down all the trainings I had, the dates that I had, what I was learning in these trainings in general. I said these were all professional development. I also got a confirmation from our school that we did these hours, because when you go through your NCSP, some of us can get audited and they can check to make sure these hours are true. You need 75, I think, CPD hours in order to renew your NCSP. So right now, the hours I have tracked, I've done a lot more than this over the years, but again, this is the problem. I just started tracking them within the last 6 months. So I know there are dozens of trainings I've done that are not captured in my current NCSP CPD credits, which is unfortunate. So don't be me. So right now I have all of my special education team meetings from the fall semester noted. I have, I started an initiative to teach social emotional lessons to high schoolers. I did a bunch of research on different curriculums I wanted to follow to create my own based on that curriculum. And then I created 8 lessons, and there are things that are called, there's a bunch of different requirements. So go look on that before, don't take my advice on what you can use for CPD credits, go look yourself. But there are kind of like self-studies you can do. There are a lot of different things you can do to get CPD credits. But yeah, so I documented all the work I did for that initiative that I led. And then I also documented my mentorship for 2 years. I did mentorship with a school psych who was also our department manager at the time. And then I have in-person professional development that I did this year. I went to my state's school psychologist conference and documented all the trainings we did there. They gave us a paper that said everything we did. Good job, Amanda. I actually saved that from 2023. I guess I've been kind of trying to document. What else do I got? So far, that's what I have documented, but there's more documentation I need to do. WIDA certified. So I got certified to administer English language learner tests to see where students' language development is. And that is outside of my general role. And so I'm also claiming those credits so that I should be pretty good. I should be good. And that's all in here. So once I get that all squared away, I need to renew my certification, which costs a chunk of money, but it's worth it to just be able to say that you're an NCSP school psychologist. One day, if you're still in grad school, you're going to be there. You're going to do it. Make sure your program is NASP certified. One thing that was kind of confusing to me when I was applying for my NCSP the first time is it doesn't actually allow you to like get jobs in every state across the country. You still have to go through, I think in general, every state's licensing. So this isn't just like a one-stop gets you any job. You can just show NCSP and they're say, oh, cool, come work with us. You still do have to go through the application for every state. I think all the states I've worked in. So I hope one day they change it. It would be really nice if there was like a blanket state, all states use the NCSP so you don't have to always be going through each state's thing, but not for now. This year, I also really need to work on extending grace to myself and not being so hard on myself for everything and like overthinking things. I think it's easy in this job to feel like you have to be perfect because we have really high expectations set on us by our districts and our legal expectations, everything like that. But I extend kindness and grace to all of my colleagues. I don't expect anyone else to be perfect. People make mistakes all the time. But when I make a mistake, sometimes I'm like, wow, I'm the worst, even if it's a really minor mistake that people make all the time. So I'm trying to learn how to let things just be, you know? I am not my career. I am a lot more than that. And if people are unhappy with you, like in this position, there are people who are unhappy with you a lot, and that's not from anything you do wrong, but it's just the nature of our job. So yeah, like you're gonna make mistakes as a school psychologist, as a teacher, you're gonna make mistakes, as any profession. We're literally all human. Every single person makes mistakes in their job. And it's just in general for myself, it's something I need to work on inside and outside of school. So yeah, share below some of the goals you have for this year, any tips you have for having a better year and staying organized, keeping your mental health in check. Let me know down below. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye.